Hello, I'm Raynor. Welcome to another video of Raynor's Guitar Digest. Okay, so today I'm going to share with you tips to master your full bar F major chord. Okay, your full bar F major chord, which is this one. Okay, so as we know, right, many beginners and casual guitarists, right, they fear or never like bar chords like especially like F major, B minor, B flat. Okay, so some beginners, right, they gave up on guitar totally because of bar chords. Like this lah, okay? So reason being, barring, right, they cause a lot of pain, and especially to the left hand index finger, okay, which is this one lah, okay? So, and pain itself is a reason good enough, right, to deter anyone to continue learning the guitar, which is actually very sad, okay? So some beginners will choose what? The easy way out by pressing like half F chord lah, or any shortcut ways they found online just to get to the shape and sound as close as I can get to the real deal. Okay, so however, right, I can tell you the bad news. The bad news and the sad truth, right, is your guitaring progress, right, you will never improve, and you will get stuck in a low level forever if you choose to stick with half F or shortcut methods. Okay, this being honest with you as a guitarist and teacher. So mastering the F chord, right, has no secrets. It takes little steps and patience and some practice to get there. Okay, so I'm going to break it down into 3 steps. Okay, 3 steps to master your full bar F chord. Okay, so we take it one step at a time. So step 1, okay, step 1 is to get your guitar set up by a guitar luthier. Okay, so usually many beginners, right, they do not know that a newly purchased guitar right off the shelf of most shops, they are not pre-set up by any guitar luthier. A guitar luthier, or we can call him a guitar technician, okay, he will help you to set up your guitar so that the neck action is more comfortable for you to press the chords. Okay, neck action. So action is actually defined, is defined as the distance between the top of your frets to the bottom of your string. So it's actually the distance between the top of your fret, the wood here to the string lah, the gap here lah, the distance between your strings and your fret lah, okay, the distance. So usually, right, factory default actions of newly purchased guitars, right, they are high and not ideal for pressing chords. So whenever you buy a new guitar, if it's not set up right, usually factory default, right, their action is actually quite high. The distance between the fretboard and the strings is actually quite far. Okay, so it's actually not ideal for pressing chords. So remember to check with the shop if the guitar has been pre-set up by any guitar luthier, and if it can be done complimentary when you purchase the guitar. Okay, so why is that? So some shops, right, they do pre-set up for you. That means the guitar, right, they sell right off the shelf, right, they usually have in-house guitar luthier to do some pre-set up for them so that the guitar action is more ideal for the general crowd lah. Okay, so they will usually do some preset up. But if let's say you find it not so comfortable, you can ask them if you can do a complimentary setup for you again that caters more to your personal needs lah. So this will save you tons of pain and time in learning the guitar and pressing any chords, including bar chords like F. Okay, so as I said, because the action is really, sometimes the action is really high, so when you press chords, right, you need more strength, more pressure. So that's why all your fingers hurt so much that I want to give up playing guitar already, because F chord is so difficult. Or even don't even say F chord, C chord, G chord, all these all the chords. Pressing the guitar itself is already very pain because you never do set up to your guitar. Okay, remember this. Always get your guitar set up. Okay, so let's say today your guitar you find it still very painful, you can consider bringing it to a guitar luthier to set up for you. Okay, so that action gets better, slightly lower, so that when you press, it's not so painful. Okay, so this is step 1. So step 2 is pressing the F chord itself. So now is to learn the shape of F chord itself. So when we press F chord, right, we'll be using every fingers of our left hand, every single finger. So first part of the barring, right, so first part will be the barring with our index finger. So make sure your index finger points straight up towards the sky. Okay, so index finger points straight up to the sky, and try to bar as close to the fret wires at the right of the first fret as possible. So this is your first fret, right? Try to bar as close to this fret wire or fret divider as possible. So when you press your barring, right, your index finger points up to the sky and you press it down. Okay, must be just right next to the fret divider or fret wire. Okay, so must be just right here, not on top of it, just right beside it. Okay, so then your thumb, right, your thumb behind, okay, your thumb behind here, it acts as a counter force to your index finger. So your index and thumb acts and looks like a clothes peg that clench onto the guitar fret and neck. So it's something like a clothes peg here. So it will clench onto the guitar neck, okay, and fretboard here. so it clench on. So your thumb actually counters the force. Your index finger push to the back, your thumb push to the front. So it will counter each other when you press. Okay, so make sure your thumb is placed in such a way that it counters the force directly behind the index finger barring lah. Okay, so it try to make it is behind the index finger, right behind. Okay, when you clench on to the bar here. Okay, so second part, right? Okay, so what's the second part? Second part will be your middle finger. Okay, middle finger. Okay, pressing on the third string second fret note. Okay, third string second fret note, which is over here. Okay, you can see. Okay, so then the third part will be your ring finger. Okay, your ring finger pressing on the fifth string third note. Okay, fifth string third fret lah. Okay, then and finally will be your pinky pressing your fourth string third fret. Okay, right behind your ring finger. Okay, so once you have all the fingers pressed down like that, right? This is your F chord. Try strumming it out, of course. So I strum it out like that. Okay, so for myself, of course, now it sounds good because I'm a guitarist, I'm a guitar teacher. So, okay, so initially for any beginners, right, it will not sound good in the first attempt, as there will sure be some fingers not pressing hard enough or fingers not able to reach certain frets properly. So, beginners or when you first attempt, when you press this F chord, right, you will sometimes sounds like this. Yeah, all the sound, all the notes not pressed properly because of your bar not pressed properly or fingers not pressed hard enough and stuff like that lah. And also because your fingers, all your fingertips and finger skin are not seasoned, not hard enough. Okay, so just keep trying to get at least 65 to 70% of the chord sounding out. Okay, so maybe something like some strings are still a bit loose, but try to get 65 to 70%. Okay, of course you can get 100%, 80%. It will be good lah, super good lah. Okay, so but initially, if you can get around 65-70%, it's good enough already. Okay, as a start lah. Okay, so it is okay, right, if you cannot get it the first few days or just the first few weeks lah, because you need to keep practicing lah. Just keep practicing lah. So and adjust the best you can every day. So keep adjusting your fingers. Okay, just adjust them. Where they are they placed properly? Okay, your index finger got point to the sky, you apply enough pressure, all these things. So keep practicing and adjusting the best you can until you get all the sounding out correctly. At least 85%, I would say. Then you from there, when you start to play songs, you start to practice songs, right? When you press right, you will actually really forget much about the pain or the sound not sounding out, because as you keep doing it, right, your F will gradually improve unknowingly, okay, subconsciously, because you already get something like 80-85%. So slowly as you keep practicing songs, right, you will subconsciously improve from there on. Yeah, this is what I experienced lah. So it is okay if you cannot get it the first few days or first few weeks, as I said. So just keep practicing, adjusting the best you can every day, because you will need the index finger skin to season, as I said. So you need the index finger here to get hard, season, so that the notes can be pressed down properly lah. So because your index finger starts to get hard already your strings are also hard so hard plus hard pressed together, the enough pressure, the pressure and effort is there, ideal enough to make the sound of the chord come out lah. Okay, so you will need your index finger to season, harden, so that the notes can be pressed down properly okay, and sound out properly. Okay, so this is pressing the F chord itself for step 2. Okay, step number 3. Step number 3 is changing to the F chord itself when you are playing exercise or playing songs. Okay, so mastering to press the F chord itself is only the first step. Okay, remember, don't forget that when you play songs, right, you need to change chord on time and takes practice too. Okay, so this is how you change chord. So imagine changing for any chords like C, A minor, D minor, E minor, or even G to F chord. Okay, any of these chords change to F chord. So because when you play songs, you would not be just pressing F chord only you will have other chords Sometimes you will have C change to F, sometimes you got G change to F, and so on and so forth lah. And you have to use up all your fingers to change. And how is it possible to do within the timing of the timing signature of your song lah? So similarly, this does not happen overnight. So you need to practice with some kind of progressive guide lah. So what you can do is, when you change chord, right, break down break your F chord pressing into 2 steps. Okay, just 2 steps cannot be 3. 2 steps. So step 1 will be pressing the bar and the middle finger. Okay, bar and middle finger, bar and then the middle finger. This one is step 1 together. Bar and middle finger first, and then step 2 will be putting the pinky and the ring finger. Okay, put the ring finger, your pinky, right, pinky, put behind your ring finger. Okay, put it behind, and then move them together as a finger group, and then press down your 4th and 5th string 3rd fret. Okay, together. This is your step 2. One more time, pinky and ring finger group together and press down together. Okay, this is your step 2. So whenever you change chord, right, so you can slow it down first, break into 2 steps. Okay, so and you try to sound it out. So step 1, step 2. Okay, again, step 1 is your index and middle finger together. Go down first. Okay, try to practice doing this together, middle and index finger together. That means the bar and the 3rd string 2nd fret. Then step 2, ring and pinky together as one group. Okay, make sure your pinky, try to put your pinky behind your ring finger. Okay, behind, like a little brother behind, protected by the ring finger like that. Then you go down together. Okay, just try, because everybody's finger is a bit slightly different. Okay, a bit different here and there. So the way you do it might be a bit different, but you will achieve the same goal. Okay, so one more time. Step 1, index and middle. Step 2, ring and pinky. Okay, one more time. Step 1, step 2. Step 1, step 2. So when you change chord, right, try to practice, try to close up the gap between step 1 and step 2. So step 1, step 2, step 1, step 2, step 1, step 2. So as you keep practicing, right, your gap close up until these 2 steps, right, becomes instantaneous. Like there's no time difference, there's no gap in between. So you'll go, yeah, and make sure that when you change chord, right, leave your fingers a bit more high up more, so that you give your fingers more space, so that they can see where they land next. For example, let's say I change from C chord to F. Then I want to change to F chord. I lift up all my fingers. Give your fingers more space. Lift up a bit further away from your fretboard and your strings lah. And then land, so that when you land down, right, your fingers, they are able to see where they land. Okay, they can see further and they have more space to move. And then they land down. Step 1, step 2. Yeah, it's actually the same for changing chords from all other chords also lah. So make sure when you change chord, right, don't like crawl to the next string. Don't like move one string by one string. Just jump higher up and then land down. Give your fingers more space so that they can see clearer where they can land. Imagine your fingers all have eyes lah. Okay, so once again, I change chord. Let's say I change from C to F. Step 1, step 2. Okay, one more time. Step 1, step 2. So you slowly step 1 and step 2, close the gap as you go faster. See, close faster. Then you can do it instantaneous. Okay, so this is changing chord. Okay, so once your step 1 and step 2 action gets better, right, the gap of the duration between step 1 and step 2 becomes so instantaneous, right? It becomes like one single step. So then you master pressing and changing to your F chord lah. So of course, just from this video lah, how I describe it. So remember all these 3 steps lah. Okay, so it takes a lot of practice, of course, and patience. So it doesn't happen overnight, as I said, or in a matter of few days. So, but once you master this, right, all these 3 steps, right, you take all the 3 steps here, you will progress much faster. And once your F chord no problem, right, you're able to do your F chord, right, then you can learn new bar chords at a much faster progress than F. For example, your B minor, your B flat, all these are even much more difficult to press an F chord. So alright, so that's all for this video. So remember all your 3 steps. Step 1, get your guitar set up by a guitar luthier. Step 2, pressing the F chord itself. And step 3, changing to the F chord itself. Okay, so that's all for this video. Hope you learned something new. And remember to subscribe, follow, like or comment below if you have any questions. Thank you and see you in the next video. Goodbye.